is better than the Gospels, and yet we know Joseph Smith's telling us a lie. Okay. Then he goes into contradictions in the Gospel accounts, such as the time of the Passover, the day of the Passover, the time of the death of Christ, who carried the cross, and etc. Then the final argument is that the resurrection didn't happen because Paul didn't teach a resurrection, he taught a spiritual resurrection. So that's basically Dan's argument. I'm just going to rebut it for the next 15 minutes, okay? First of all, he says we have to prove these four things about Jesus. Jesus was actually a human being. Jesus was died, placed in the tomb. Jesus died prior to being placed in the tomb, and Jesus was placed in the tomb, and four, Jesus was physically restored. The first 3 points are already proved by history. If you knew the history of this topic, he'd know that the work by E.P. Sanders, who is the leader in this field, would not agree with the Bible, would not agree with certain things about the Gospels, but has said that the basic facts of Jesus, that he was a human being in history, in the first century Jew, that he died, that he was placed in the tomb of Arimathea. He accepts that. Dominic Crossan, who was a skeptic scholar, says that Jesus dying on a cross is the most well-attested historical fact in history. We know this from Paul's early source material, 1 Corinthians 15, which says, "Now I would remind you, brothers, of the Gospels I preached to you, which you received, in which you stand, and by which you are being saved, if you hold fast to the Lord I preached to you, unless you believe in vain. For I delivered to you as of first importance what I also received, that Christ died for out of sin in accordance with the Scriptures, that he was buried, that he was raised on the third day in accordance with the Scriptures, that he appeared to Cephas, then to the 12, then he appeared to more than 500 brothers at one time, most of whom are still alive, though some have fallen asleep. Then he appeared to James, then all the apostles. Last of all, as of untimely born, he appeared to me, for I am the least of the apostles." Now this text, written probably in the 50s, 58, round in early mid-50s AD, scholars will tell you is rich in tradition and goes back to an earlier tradition of AD 33, 34. Okay, so we know from that passage alone that we have early historical source material